Welcome back, people. So, in the last video, we saw that how negative thinking can be good for us and how it actually acts as a survival mechanism telling us about the outcomes. But then, why do we not act even after realizing, even after getting the fear on not on an emergent basis like one day before the exam, but when we know there is a long term goal which we have to achieve? Why is it that we don't act? Why is it that even when we see a reward, which means we have a desire but we don't act towards it, we make a goal that, well, will make us capable enough of, say, running a 5 kilometer run, or maybe getting good marks in the exam? For that, we can say sequentially finishing these many chapters and being prepared for the exam. What stops us from doing that? Well, it's quite simple, really. It's about your expectations. The thing is, your brain can't see the reward. It's full of chemicals, so it chases chemical reactions. Now, what I fear usually is that our efforts are not going to gain the reward that we are seeking. And because of that, we fail to act. So, for example, imagine I give you a map which says that there's a treasure at this point. Are you really gonna procrastinate or ask yourself questions like, if life is meaningless, or is it meaningless, but why am I really doing it, or it's too painful, it's too hard? No, you're not gonna do none of that. All you're gonna do is start digging at that point and take the treasure, and everyone is gonna do that. You're not alone. The thing is, it's quite simple. The reward there is established. But then if I tell you, well, there are 10 points on this map and any one of them might have a treasure, now it becomes challenging, but you might still do it because you might dig up all the 10 points. But then I'll tell you there are 100 points, 500,000 points, and one of them has the treasure. Now you'll start questioning. Now you might even ask, well, is this map even correct? And even if it is right, well, what is there in the treasure really? What am I chasing? What if I even dig the 1,000 points and get the treasure? What if the treasure is not even worth it, worth my time and effort? So these questions are coming because your brain is seeking reward equivalent to the pleasure, equivalent to the effort given. So pleasure has to be synchronous to the pain. It has to be equivalent. So if that's the case, what happens really when we think about exercising or studying, let's say the two examples we took? Why is it that you're not doing anything? You think about exercising for 30 minutes tomorrow, just like everyone is, or many people recommend. Why would it just last for 2 3 days and then stop? Well, it's simple. It's about perspectives. Let's say there are three people: one who's just starting to exercise, one who has been exercising from 3 months, and one who has been exercising from a year. Now, if you observe closely, a 5 minute exercise for the person who's starting to exercise, a 30-minute exercise for a person who has been exercising for 3 months consistently, and a 60-minute or 1 hour exercise for the person who's been exercising from a year. From their perspective, it's as painful, just as painful for each of them, because their body is used to it. They have already given effort multiple times and gotten reward from it. So their brain is also used to it. That's the reason why a 5 minute workout for you who's just starting could be as painful as a 1 hour workout for a person who's been exercising consistently. Same goes in studying. Maybe reading one paragraph and understanding it could be just as painful as finishing a chapter for somebody who's been on a studying spree. So all you have to consider is that perspectives change. It's not that from your current perspective that the goal is going to be same, the pain is going to be same. It reduces for the same effort, where you grow and the rewards you get are exponential. So all I would say is, when you look at a long term goal, what you have to do is break it down into small pieces. Once you do that, so say you're like, I'm going to go on a run today. Don't expect that I'm going to run 2 kilometers or for this much time. You can expect that, well, I'll run for 400 meters. That's a realistic goal. But then you break it down. You say that, okay, for 1 week continuously, every single day. All I'm going to do is run for 400 meters. Then slowly, I'm going to increase it to 450, then 500, then 600. Looking at that, 2 months later, probably you will achieve 1 kilometer, right? And on a linear basis, maybe around 6 months, you'll achieve 5 kilometers. Although it doesn't really work linear, as I said, it's like a convex curve, so it's exponential. Once you start doing something, your body starts getting adapted to it slowly, and the rewards you get are exponential. Therefore, you might end up achieving the 5K run in just 3 to 4 months of consistent running. Similarly, studies. You might think that I'm going to finish 10 chapters for this particular exam, but all it might take is, well, one paragraph to start today. Not even one whole topic, one paragraph, that's it. But slowly, as you build on it, even if it takes one chapter a month to cover and you have 6 months in total, you might think, well, it's not going to be possible for me to finish 10. You might just finish the whole 10 in 4 months. So the next 3 months you covered 9. It's because it was increasing exponentially. So all you have to do is break down that vague long term goal and make it simple treasure hunts so that you actually start taking action.